Hi everyone, my name is Diana. I run All Things Laser Earrings, and I am in the midst of my 30 days of earrings. And in the last two videos we've been talking about little stud earrings, these cute little stud earrings that are around like a ½ inch, which are just perfect for everyone's ears. They fit everyone really well. And we spoke about scoring versus engraving, which is always a good thing to have an option. And whether scoring, what are you looking for? It depends on if you're going to score or engrave. And then we spoke about how to dome them. Like if you can see, this one's like a little bit three-dimensional because we use the UV resin to dome it, and it just makes the earring, especially if you've painted it, really pop, and also protects the earring too, so it has that advantage. And today we're going to talk about how to glue our backs, because obviously that's really important for studs. You want to make sure that these are not going to pop off when you're shipping them, but when people are wearing them. And I have been doing this for a long time, and I have my method. I'm going to show a second method too, because some people like to have like that extra layer of security. And I definitely did it for a while at the beginning when I wasn't feeling 100% secure with the glue that I use. But now I'm like totally secure. Like I love my Starbond and I use it and I totally trust it. So let's move to actually showing you, and I will move down to my work space. So we're gonna turn our little studs that we made into studs that people can wear. And then let's just talk about some basics. Basically, we're gonna use these stud backs that have the flat pads on them. These are the best way to secure your earring backs to the back of your earrings. Like here, none of the masking, make sure the masking is off. And basically our goal is, it's always best to have earring, the more surface area you have to glue on, the more secure it's going to be. So these are the three sizes that I use generally. I think this is 8mm, these are 6mm, and these are 2mm. And I'm only really using the 2mm when I have something very thin. I don't have an example here where only the 2mm is going to fit. And all of these seem to be really good. The 2mm sometimes seem a little problematic in which they're not entirely flat. And when they're not entirely flat, it's good to like make them flat using like a nice small file, which is not a bad idea anyway, because it definitely guarantees that the glue is going to stick a lot better. So this is my only warning with the 4mm ones. I sometimes find they're not entirely flat. So I always make sure I flatten them out. But like I said, with the earrings that you're using, always try to maximize the earring pad to the back of your earring so you have maximum surface area when you're gluing. Okay, what am I going to use to glue? Generally, nowadays, I only use Starbond Medium. I really trust it. It is a very strong glue. And I have had zero problems with it. I hear that people in very humid areas can have problems with Starbond Medium. Starbond Medium reacts to moisture. So if you are in a very humid area, make sure you always have the top on, and just realize that your glue can go bad. And if it goes bad, it's very obvious. It gets all mushy and gooey. But I love this glue. It's instant. It works very fast and it works very well. And you only need a little bit. So I'm going to show you a piece right now. You always apply the glue to the smaller part. So in this occasion, it's the earring back, and you only need a little bit. So I just put it upside down and that's it. You really don't want more because you don't want it spilling over. In fact, this might be, sometimes I just remove a little bit excess with paper and then I put it on because I really don't want it gumming over. If you really want to maximize, make sure that the glue is going to stick on, you can always either file the back here with a little file, or in my case, you'll use a pad, and you're just really creating some lines in it. It doesn't have to be that much. And actually, rougher pad is better than a fine pad, because really what you want is just a few lines. You don't want it all to be scratched up. Or rather, you don't need it to be all scratched up. You just need a few lines. And let me grab another earring. And of course, I guess I forgot to take the masking off of these. Always make sure you take off the masking, or else it's just not going to glue properly. So let me find the one that I have here that I've roughened up a little. And you just need to roughen it up a little. Whoops. Make sure this doesn't go over. Just need a little bit. And look how little you need. And then put it on. Leave it to the side. And then let's do this one, which will need a smaller one. And this is how I destroy my nails. Let me see if the big one fits. You really want to make sure it doesn't. So if I'm really careful, it's going to fit here. But if I, like with Starbond, you don't have a lot of time. So maybe this is a good time to move down a size a little. And I can roughen it up a little again to show you. Just roughen it up. This one actually feels like the middle is poking out a little. So I'm actually going to go in. And I am going to flatten it out a little too. Make sure it's flat. And then once again, just put on a little bit of glue. Don't need very much at all. I'm going to keep saying this. And you put it on. There. Obviously, always try to center it. It's not the end of the world if it's like not totally centered. See here, my little football ones right here in the middle. And this is a good way to show the difference. I don't know if you can see very well in the video, but this one is just Starbond. And then this one, I added an extra layer of UV resin because for a while I was just making hundreds and hundreds a day. And I got a little paranoid that they would come off. I'm not so paranoid anymore. So I was then adding an extra layer of UV resin, which adds a lot more time. So I don't really recommend it. But for those of you that might be feeling that itch of paranoia in their brain, you can totally do this. You can then come in. You have to make sure it dries. But at this point, this is probably already, look, this is not going anywhere. In fact, if I keep pulling on this, this is going to bend. I'll show you. This is just going to bend. This is already on. It's not going anywhere. So this is dry already. What you can do, and what I did for a while, just because I was making so many, and I was just paranoid that I was going to miss one or two. And I just didn't want people coming back to me telling me the backs were coming off. And so you just put a little bit of the UV resin. I'll share the UV resin. It's just a generic Amazon one, but I find this one works so much better than anything else I've gotten. Put it in. I just drag it along the whole earring just for uniformity's sake with my weeding tool. And get it everywhere. And if it's uniform, you don't really notice it. Like it's there, you don't really notice. And then I will put it in my lamp. So over here, oh, I just realized I forgot to share my lamp yesterday. I'm going to reach over, turn it on. Sorry. Always have things going on. Okay, so just to add, so, you know, as I said, this is very fast. Starbond works really fast. You can make it even firmer if you either like file it a little or you use like one of these pads, sanding pads. What else can I add? Oh, the backs that I use. I tend to use these comfort backs. I find that people much prefer these. I've tried with all different backs, and these are the ones that people always say they prefer. If you're going way higher end, like actual gold jewelry, then you're going to want something more higher end. But for these earrings that are, you know, they're more like costume jewelry, they're fun, you are totally okay with using these. Just make sure that they're solid and the backs aren't falling off, because lower quality ones, the backs tend to fall off. What else? When I'm shipping, if I'm shipping far away, or I don't know, for some reason, I'm just really want to make sure the earrings arrive perfectly, I will also use these guys. So I'll show you, like, let me show you something here. Make sure everything's dry, obviously. You put them on your carding, and then you fit this in, and then you put it back on, and it just gives it an extra layer of protection to make sure that nothing is going to happen to that back. So I'll do that on orders that for some reason I'm feeling a little less confident about. But generally, if it's a very big order, it's going in a box anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But maybe like a smaller order of earring where I'm using a poly mailer or using a bubble mailer, and there's only a couple of earrings in there, and I'm like, I just add the added security just for peace of mind. And I think that's it. This is very fast, because not only does you just need a very small amount, it dries very fast, so you can move on with your projects and shipping and mailing. I leave them there maybe for a couple of hours, just 100%, but it's pretty much done in like within 5 minutes. So it's a great glue. Just be careful in very moist areas. Always have the cap on. I should have mine on, but I don't. But I live in California, so I have the opposite problem, is that everything I have like dries out really fast. And if you have any questions, let me know and ask below in the comments. If you want to learn how to make a lot more projects, laser earrings, like these fun studs, come join me on my Facebook group, All Things Laser Earrings. Watch the rest of my YouTube videos. I am always trying to add new videos with new ideas. I am always very open to new ideas for videos. And I hope you enjoyed yourself, and thank you so much.